Hello, thank you for listening to this episode of the Moore's October Rants. Today's rant is going to be titled Men versus Women because I feel in society there's a battle of the sexes, and I don't know when this started, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse over time. I was born in the early 90s, and I feel like since I've been born, growing up, there was always kind of like a funny rivalry between men and women, but it was more of a joke. Like it wasn't really that serious, I don't think. Like you'd hear like boys rule, girls drool, or the opposite, girls rule, boys drool. Like there was funny things and stuff like that, but I think it's gotten a lot worse over time. And like I said, I don't know when this started. I can't really pinpoint like a point in time where this all started, but I feel like it started to get a lot worse like when social media became to be a thing, when we had all these apps and we had access to phones and stuff like that, like it turned over a new leaf when it comes to like entertainment and information and how we can be more connected than we are ever before with messaging people over the world and talking to different people. And I feel like it's created like such an animosity between men and women, and men blaming women for everything or women blaming men for everything. And it shouldn't be like that. Men and women were created to need one another, and now all the time I'm trying to explain this in the right way because I don't want to come off as rude or anything, but it seems to be like this mindset that women have nowadays where it's I don't need no man, I'm independent, I don't want any man, and like I said before, men and women were, created to need one another. Like we need each other, and it's come to the point where I can admit that to myself. I can admit that I need a woman's love. There's nothing in this world like a woman's love and a woman's care. And that's something in my life that I will always need until the day I die. As a man, I know that I need a woman's love. I need a woman's support. I need that touch that a woman gives, I need that kiss that a woman gives. And there's something about a woman that I just want to be around it all the time. And I know that about myself. And even I can get kind of like a men versus women mindset sometimes, but deep down in my heart, I don't think that should be how it should be, Men and women used to be able to talk to each other. Like men and women used to be able to joke with each other. And I feel like that's going away. I feel like we're being raised and we're living in a society where we're against each other, and I don't want it to be a battle of the sexes, I want us to understand our differences and not blame one another and stuff like that, and that's probably never going to happen. You're always going to have competitive people, you're always going to have sexist people who don't like someone because of their gender, regardless of what they did. They could donate a bunch of money to people in poverty and save hundreds of thousands of people's lives with certain drugs they create or whatever it is, and someone would still not like them because of what gender they're born as. And, I just don't want it to be like that. I don't want it to be a battle of the sexes, like I said. And it really does feel like that's what it's coming to in society. And, I feel like as a man, it's my duty to protect the women that I love around me, As a man, I was created to provide, meaning physically and financially and, emotionally. And I'm supposed to protect and provide. And I feel like that's how men should be. And I think it's very important as men that we protect the women around us and we guide the women around us. And and maybe you don't think that that's true, but I'm speaking from a biblical standpoint, and the Bible says that a man is to guide a woman, and I feel like it's our responsibility as men, like I said before, to protect a woman, especially from herself and other things. So that's the way I feel about it, and A lot of the time I feel like is spent with this man versus woman mentality that we all have, and we really need to be there for one another as, men and women, and we need to understand each other more and stop this whole fighting and versus one another thing. I think that we could get so much more done and we can understand each other a lot more than what's being understood. And I just don't want to fight women anymore. I don't want to argue with women anymore. I don't want to be against women anymore. I just don't want any of that shit. I want to get along with women, and I love women. Women are like a gorgeous thing, and I love females. I love them so much, and women are amazing, dude. I'm getting teary eyed right now, man. Like, I love women so much, bro, and I don't want to see them go away. I don't want to see women ever go away, man. I love them so much, and women are so important to the world, and they're so important, man. So are men, you know. Men and women are very important, and we're important for different reasons, and people are gonna have their opinion and stuff like that, and that's fine, but women are very important, and so are men too. We're built to need one another, and this is the first time I've ever gotten really emotional on here, but I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. We need each other so bad, and we need to stop fighting with one another, man, and we need to get along and understand that we're not always going to understand each other, but we need to be there for one another. And just because someone treats you badly, it has nothing to do with their gender. So that's it for now. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Morris October Rants. Hopefully you enjoyed my emotional moment, and thank you for listening. Have a good one, guys.